Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. First off, I want to say thank you for all the love on my previous video, which was just me tier ranking a bunch of sapphic books. I'm glad some of you were able to find some recommendations out of that video. That's really great and awesome. And in case you didn't read the description, that video was filmed last year in December. So it did take a little while, just a little while for me to put it out there, but I'm so glad it's out and I can finally stop thinking about it and I can delete all the files off of my computer because oh my god, that video was such a hassle to edit and to anyways, I don't want to get into it. Hopefully I can tier rank more stuff in the future and it'll go a lot smoother in terms of editing. Actually, I do want to tier rank more stuff, I just don't know what, so if you have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comments below if you want to see me tier rank anything. Another thing, I also want to say hi to all the newcomers, hope you stick around, and if you don't, say hey and then come back after a while. Like, I have commitment issues anyway, so you're fine. Now, let's get on to this actual video and what it's about. Today, as per the title of this video, I'm going to be recommending you books based on Tumblr text post. I've had this idea since last year. I was on Tumblr, as I always am. When am I not on Tumblr? I've been on Tumblr since 2011, so it's literally my house at this point. Like, when I open the Tumblr app, I'm leaving the function to go to my house. Like, that's my house. Anyway, back to the main topic. When I was scrolling through Tumblr and reading those text posts, I always had the thought of like, oh my god, this actually encompasses this book that I just read exactly, or this is like exactly something this character from this book would say. So I was like, that's a pretty good idea. Let me recommend some books based on some really unhinged Tumblr posts, because why not? So I've compiled just a few text posts. Also, disclaimer, first and foremost, check the trigger warnings. And second, some of these books I don't even like. Some of these books I didn't enjoy at all. I don't necessarily really recommend them. I just put them in there because I thought they fit the text post. Read at your own risk. Again, any of my recommendations, you can decide whether or not you want to read it. I mean, this is your life. Like, your eyes, your choice. But obviously, I'll let you know which ones that I didn't like that much and which ones I did enjoy. So our first text post is, "Hey, sorry I was weird yesterday. Today I'll be weird, but in a different way." This is none other than Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. Yo, whatever you think this book is about, based on the cover or the title, think again. You're wrong. This is one that you definitely have to check the trigger warnings, like heavy on the trigger warnings. Why did I think going into this book I was gonna experience some sort of like space, sci-fi, alienish, like Nope 2022, like the movie? I don't know why I expected that. I was dead wrong. But I also think it's because I had just recently seen Nope before reading this book. But yeah, nothing of the sort. It is very real, very grounded, but also not at the same time. The good thing about this book though is that you realize pretty quickly that you're wrong right off the bat. Literally chapter 1, maybe the first few pages, you're like, whoa, okay, so it is pretty fucked up. If you've read a Sayaka Murata book before, like, her writing is a little bit batshit, a little bit out there. This one, I think, takes the cake. I've read only 2 of her books so far, Convenience Store Woman and this one definitely is way weirder than Convenience Store Woman, so it is similar, it's just on another level. And yeah, her writing is a little batshit, but I fuck with it, It's like, OMG girl, you're so crazy, like, why did you say that? What did you mean by that? But I fuck with it, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is definitely a book that you need to check the trigger warnings beforehand. I went into this book blind, not expecting, I go into pretty much all of my books blind because I want to know as little as possible when I go into a book. That hasn't been working. Another contender for Earthlings is We Should Fucking Kill Job. No more Job. Has anyone else ever thought about this? And yes, me, I have thought about this. We should definitely kill Job. Our next text post, Women in STEM. What about women in their 20s trying to function like a normal adult and failing at it? We have none other than Luster by Raven Leilani. This is peak woman in her 20s disease. Like, that's what she was diagnosed with. That's what she has. Like, it's an illness at this point. I don't think I need to say anything more about this. Love this book. Next one. When I say I'm being so normal about this, not only is this a lie, but it is also a warning. For this one, I'm gonna go with These Violent Delights by Micah Nemirever. You know, it's definitely a lie if the main character tells you that he's being normal about literally anything, and you should definitely heed that warning. This is a book that I actually didn't really like that much. It's like a dark academia, and it's gay, and I thought I was gonna eat it up, but being in the main character's head was just too exhausting for me. It was like mentally draining, and I also thought it was a bit too long, but I can see why a lot of people might like it. If you're a fan of dark academia and really fucked up codependent doomed relationships, this book is for you. The next one, me going off to one of my 4,000 daydream universes after a long stressful day. For this one, Twice Shy by Sarah Hogel. I actually did not like this book. I think I gave it a 2 stars, which was so disappointing because I wanted to like it so bad. The main character, she was just way too in there. She was like in her alternate universes instead of like actually interacting with the love interest and trying to like develop the real life relationship. So it wasn't for me, but who knows, maybe it might be for somebody else. Next one normie passing crazy girl is worth 1,000 blue-haired bitches. Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. I think I've talked about this book maybe like every 2 videos of mine, and it's because I'm obsessed with it. Like, I'm so sorry. I just feel like it's something that had so little to offer, but so much at the same time. It's essentially a character study, and the main character is just so... she needs to be committed. Like, there is something deeply wrong with her. I don't know, it was just enthralling to look at and see it unravel. Again, check the trigger warnings. Another contender for Boy Parts. Next one. Insane how like, well, I don't know. And of course, at the end of the day. For this, I'm going with The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake because this book says nothing and gets nowhere. Sorry. We have 3 more left. The next one, me remembering when I was nice, when I should have killed them. For this, Malice by Heather Walter, which is basically a Sleeping Beauty retelling in the perspective of the villain, or at least what the society in this book views as the villain. And I'm also going to recommend for this text post, Bunny by Mona Awad. It is dark academia, and I have a reading vlog of it, and I'm not gonna say I didn't like it. I don't think I understood what was going on. I'm gonna say that. The second to last one, today I offered nothing. Good night, everyone! For this, I'm going to recommend Big Swiss by Jen Began. I read this earlier this year, and why is it one of my favorite books that I've read this year? And there's only like maybe 3 books on that list so far. This book is probably the most out there concept that I've ever read that was actually executed in a good way. Like, I was hooked. The amount of like weird shit that goes on in this book and like the way that it's described. There is something about this book that I found so addictive. I literally could not look away from it. Like, it was a total train wreck, but I still rated it like 4 stars because I was so invested in the story and the way that it was being told. If you don't know what Big Swiss is about, it's about this woman, Greta, who's a transcriber for this sex therapist. So she gets to like transcribe all of the sessions that the therapist that she works for has, and through her transcribing those sessions, she kind of falls in love with one of the guy's clients. It happens to be like this 28 something woman who's married, and it goes off from there. I mean, just by hearing that, tell me that this concept doesn't go crazy. Like, it is messy as hell, but not as messy as it could have been. I don't know, there was something really grotesque and crude about it and the way that it's written, but also heartwarming and endearing and addictive. At least for me, when I read it, I was just like, wow, I actually really like these characters even though they're so strange. It's definitely one of the best books that I've read this year. And I mean, when I first heard of this book, like, I didn't even hear about the book. I heard about the production that was being made for it, and that was before the book even came out. I think Jodie Comer is supposed to play the patient that Greta, the main character, falls in love with. Like, I need it immediately. I need it yesterday. I know Jodie's gonna do fucking brilliantly in this role. Now, I don't know who I want them to cast as Greta, but I hope they pick someone that is able to encapsulate Greta's weirdness. Like, this woman is weird. You know, like, she's strange. Okay, she's weird down. And she's like 40 something. I just hope they cast someone who's capable of depicting that weirdness. Needless to say, I'm fucking excited for this. The last text post, I highly recommend for women and girls to be intellectually curious and difficult to shame. And I'm going to recommend you Word Slut by Amanda Montell. This is a nonfiction book on how the English language shapes us and shapes our world and shapes our thought process and how we interpret and assume things about different people based on the way that they speak the English language. I really like this book. I think it's very informative. I think there's a lot to take away from it. I did talk about it in my favorite books of 2022. If you want to go, I don't think I said much about it, so, but it'll be linked in the description below anyway. Alright, so that is it for this video. We've come to the conclusion, the end. I enjoyed making this. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I recommended. Let me know if you're actually interested in reading some of the books that I recommended, and I will see you all in another video. Bye!